What's going on, everybody? Steve here again with another skate park tour. This time I'm in Seymour, Indiana at Shields Park, specifically visiting the Schurman-Grubb Memorial Skate Park, named in honor of two skateboarders who tragically lost their lives. And this park is a build or collaboration build between a couple different skate park builders. I know Hunger's one of the ones that did a couple obstacles here. It was built in phases, so you can see some differences in sort of the subtleties of the sections and things like that. But I'm going to take you through this park so you can see it for yourself. In case you didn't know, Seymour is off of I-65, kind of halfway between Indianapolis and Louisville, Kentucky, kind of getting closer down to Louisville. It's a great kind of pit stop if you're rolling through the area, and you'll see it's got a good amount of variety to the park as well. So let's check it out. All right, so to start the skate park tour, I'm actually going to start out here in the center of the park, and you can see you've got this like lower level street section area with a lot of different ledges, rail options, kind of kickers, all sorts of things to skate. So the first thing that I'll start out with is this dual-sided sort of A-frame hubba ledge. Very mellow to get onto, as you'll see along the side here. Only about 14 inches off the top. So if you're rolling from one direction of the park or another, you can get onto it, or you can try to ollie from flat. It's mellow enough to kind of grind the whole thing. This is a lot like a hubba ledge at the Frankfort, Indiana skate park, if you've watched my video for that. But that's got a really cool, nice, mellow hubba to skate. This thing is probably about 12 feet long on both ends of it, so it really provides you with plenty of time to grind. And then you've got a round bar that pretty much matches it. Now the round bar is maybe an inch or two taller, but for the most part, pretty much the same way of getting onto it, kind of on the dual side there. So that really helps. The one kind of drawback with this bar is the diameter is only about 2 inches, maybe less. So it is kind of skinny in comparison to maybe what you would see at other skate parks, but that's okay. Then, in addition to obviously the rail and hubba, you've got that sort of A-frame kicker ramp. Now this is straight wedges on both sides. There is a little bit of a mellow transition towards the start of it, but for all intents and purposes, it's completely flat, no curve to it at all. But on the other side, you've got this really interesting kicker setup where it kind of goes upward right here, and then it comes back down, kind of dips, and then goes along the side. So somebody who has enough speed could air out that entire section there to get over it. So that's a pretty cool aspect. The next part of this street box area are these ledges here. So you can see one flat ledge that at its ends is a little, probably about 3 feet tall or so, maybe a little bit shorter than that. Obviously a lot easier to get onto with the ramps on both sides. Can skate it front side or back side depending on what foot stance you are, so it's nice that it has that symmetry to it. And then on the other side, kind of ollie up onto it after ollieing onto this A-frame ledge. So the A-frame ledge is about 12 inches on both sides of it, so very much skates like a manual pad. Slopes about 12 feet or so on either side, so nice kind of mellow shape to it, to really complement that longer, maybe 20-30 foot long regular wall box thing. And then of course the little guy right in front here, this 8 foot long, about 8 or 9 inch tall mani pad, that gives you some options to get your day one song on. Then on the opposite side here, we've got a square rail. I'm not as big a fan of square flat bars as round bars these days, but you do have this to skate, and this thing has got to be about 16 feet long or so and about 12 inches tall. So plenty of ways to learn new tricks, new slides, new grinds, whatever the case may be. And you've kind of have this stamped concrete brick section. Not sure if this is like a nod to part of the town or not, but needless to say, you got that to sort of use as a gap. Then to kind of wrap things out, we've got ledges and a bench. This bench here is 16 inches or maybe even closer to 18 inches tall, completely concrete edged. So you can see that this is starting to get rounded out and ground down. Probably will need some rehabbing at some point, but for now, still looks like it's okay. Not too much damage as far as pegs go, but I definitely am like running my hands over it and can feel, it's seen better days. Then these kind of ollie up box ledge things. So one is a 12-foot inch tall box. The other one's maybe closer to 2 feet. Let's say 22 inches. Not quite 2 feet. But again, kind of skates like ollie up one, ollie up onto the other, or just skate the taller one, maybe drop down into a grind. Both of these boxes, maybe about 12 feet tall or so. So altogether, 24 feet of ledge to skate. Now, one side of it does have, or both sides have coping. So maybe at some point down the line, there's more room for expansion. So these become something you skate on both sides. But for now, just here on this end. Now we're going to look at one of the back walls. I guess this would be more of like the south end of the park. It's kind of angled, so maybe this is more like southwest corner of the park. But needless to say, I always like to show the angles of the transition so you can kind of get a sense of this. But this ramp is close to 6 feet tall on this end here. And it's really mellow, like just big bank to turn around on. So probably not something that you're doing a whole lot of stalls on, just because this thing would just throw you right out of the park. But you can see same height quarter pipes over there that have that normal quarter pipe radius to them, that are also about 5.5 or so feet tall. Um, the the nice thing about this bank is it's super wide, so you can have like multiple kids skating it at a time. This thing is probably 20 feet wide or so. And then this back quarter, this thing is got to be at least 30 feet wide. Actually, probably closer to 50 feet when you add the 1 foot extension there that makes it a little bit taller than 6 feet. But got that huge area to turn around and grind across if you want. And then, of course, the little like volcano kind of outward extension that really provides some interesting line opportunities, carves, whatever the case may be. I think it's kind of cool that you could carve around the volcano piece as an option, or do grinds across the top. The only probably drawback to this quarter area is there's really not a deck to it. This decking, if I get up close to it, it's really only about 8 inches wide on the top, maybe even less, 6 inches. So you're not able to really camp out on it and not have to worry about falling over. That is probably the drawback there. So obviously that requires more concrete, but if I were designing this, probably would have tried to make the deck a little bit bigger, so that you know it's a bit more comfortable to drop in on. Now, as we get into the last phase of the park, I'm going to start here, more on the western side of it, but obviously you've got this 6 stair with handrail and hubble ledge. The hubble ledge is about 2 feet or so to get onto. Does have a bit of a slope there, so those who are really courageous could probably do a wally onto the ledge, but really good size, kind of challenging, bigger, but not out of the range of what maybe an intermediate level skater could skate. And then the rail as well, nice and long, but still kind of short to get onto. And you can see kind of where people are hitting it, maybe about 2 or 3 stairs in, and long enough to feel like a normal slide to it. But This section is definitely the newest area. I got a big bank to pick up speed on. This bank is roughly 4 feet tall, so you'll get plenty of speed coming off of it, so you can hit the middle street section or back quarters as well. Now you do have these. These are going to be symmetrical on either side of this top part, but you do have these curved ledges that are about 8 feet long and 12 inches tall. So nice curved boxes if you like skating curved stuff. Got one on both sides, so skated either like a ledge or a manual pad, I guess. And then as we get into kind of more of the central section here, you'll see the back quarter with the classic hunger incorporated local art into the park. So you've got this as first and foremost a hip that's about 2 feet tall or so, that slopes out 4, 5, 6 feet, and that will sorry, that sounded weird. It slopes out about 6 feet or so. So you got kind of, it's steep enough to where it'll kick you up, but mellow enough to where you don't feel like you're going to get shot straight down onto your back if you fall. So that is nice. Then this really steep quarter with a, just like basically a 2x8 metal 2x8 on the top of it, to kind of bring that together, as far as like some coping to skate. I am going to loop back to the bowl once I finish up this top part here, but you can see that symmetrical ledge. And then as we get over here, you see similar symmetry to the rail and the hub on the other side, but these also kind of come out. So you have an out ledge option, out bar option. So you come off of the kicker as well. Now this kicker is steeper. I think these obstacles seem to be, at least in my mind anyway, bigger and steeper. That's how they feel, but they could be exactly the same. I don't know. But the ledge is definitely 2 feet tall. Same with the handrail and flat bar. So you do have some opportunity to kind of kick out off of that ramp over there and come back and do some out ledge grinds or slides on the rail, whatever you choose to do there. Lastly, we've got what amounts to both a mini ramp and a bowl. So this thing is about 3.5, 4 feet tall or so. So you can see both corners on both sides, but really long section to skate as a mini ramp as well, which I'm sure, I'm not much of a transition skater, but this really appeals to me because it's tall enough to be, challenging enough, but not inaccessible. So really great design for all skill levels, and pretty consistent as far as what it brings to the table. And the sections here, these are at least 50 feet long to get to the back area, maybe 40 feet or so, and then about 30 feet across. So it's really good dimensions to hold speed and enjoy sort of that mini ramp skating, do all kinds of long grinds, stall tricks, whatever the case may be. And then of course, I didn't really mention this, but because it's open on the end, you've got these hips to sort of match each section. So really good, solid design from that perspective. All right, that does it for this skate park tour of the Seymour Skate Park in Seymour, Indiana. Hope you enjoyed watching this video, and stay tuned for more skate park tours. A lot coming this summer as far as content goes, and I'm excited to share with you guys more and more skate park tours.